Hi, and hope all you guys are having fun testing. Those of you that are out testing, good luck on any of those that you still need to complete. Sorry I am out testing as well in Columbus, but here is our lesson for today. We are starting Unit 5, no pretest. So we are just going to start talking about elementary age children, and then next week we will finish up with high school adolescents. Then the following week is the end of the class. All right, so let's look here. Learning targets for today. We are going to be determining ways to promote healthy bodies and education in elementary children. Today, primarily, we're going to be focusing on healthy bodies and milestones. All right, so what do you think? At what grade level do you think students start doing multiplication? Take a moment, see if you can figure it out. All right, you chose second grade. You are correct. Second grade is when they start doing multiplication. Again, that's simple multiplication, and then it gets definitely harder as the grade levels progress. All right, so I wanted to do a quick reminder. Remember, this was from Jean Piaget, and these are the 4 cognitive stages. Notice we are entering the elementary age, so that is kind of right where pre-operational is starting. So children begin to form concepts, wondering about the reality of people like Santa Claus, start using symbols as words, and it allows children to communicate and gain language development. So they're in that pre-operational stage when they start elementary school. And as they progress, again, about age 7 to 11 years old, they start getting into that concrete operational, where they start to learn to reason and use simple deductive logic to arrive at conclusions. So we are going to use that to help us understand some of the milestones. So here are some milestones for our elementary children. Kindergarten, what you can expect from a kindergartner. Again, socially, the child should be able to start taking turns and sharing, separating from you without undue anxiety, and communicating his needs to adults around him. Some physically developmental milestones, including running, skipping, jumping, and climbing stairs. While cognitive skills should now include the ability to use complete sentences, retelling a story, and counting objects. So that's kindergarten. First grade, what they're expected basically to do, you should be able to see patterns in words, like rhyming words, and also spelling words, whereas they have the same kind of beginning sounds. Numbers, and to some degree the world around her. She'll also begin to answer basic questions with more detail. Physical milestones this year are some of the gross and fine motor related skills. Having the ability to keep going with a physical activity for 5 to 15 minutes, and developing the muscles that allow them to have a better grip on the pencil and neater handwriting. Second grade, your child will be asked to think a little more in depth. That's when they really start getting into some of the academics. Some cognitive milestones, they include the ability to understand the concepts of money, time, and mental math. Again, this is the age where they're getting into that concrete thinking we were just talking about a minute ago. Social milestones, this is the grade which help your child be more independent. So they should be able to get better ability to judge his strengths and weaknesses, have a little more self-control, and be a little more willing to speak up when his opinion differs from others. And this independence is echoed in his physical milestones, as they do begin to have a greater control over movements, knowing when his body needs a break, and an increased ability for repetitive physical actions as they apply to games. All right, third graders. For many children, third grade marks the growth spurt in physically and emotionally and cognitively. This is the first age that children do start doing state testing in Ohio. In case you didn't know, we do have a new rule now where there is a third grade reading guarantee, where the students need to take those AIR tests. Remember the old OAA tests? We now call them AIR tests. And children need to be able to score proficient on that test in order to progress on to 4th grade. That's called the 3rd grade reading guarantee. And in terms of cognitive milestones, this does mean she is able to ask questions until she has all the information she needs, draw conclusions about something she is learning. It means she can also create and solve concrete math problems from word problems. So start getting into this word problems in 3rd grade. Notice again, 2nd grade they start multiplication. 3rd grade they get more into multiplication and division and start tying it to word problems. Alright, and again from physical milestones, you begin to see the connections, well-planned physical activity, and health and well-being. Social skills reflect a shift in thinking in the way she's able to understand that other people are part of her experience, not simply an observer. So that's kind of coming into play right around 3rd grade. Alright, in some school districts, 4th grade in itself is a milestone in which students move from kind of an early elementary school to intermediate grades. I know in my children's school, 4th grade is the time when they start switching classrooms for subjects. So getting a little more kind of specialized in that and getting an independence and seeing different teachers. Alright, being older again brings with it more challenges. Social skills are particularly important this year as peer relationships start to take on more importance. You see a lot of those kind of cliques starting to form right around 4th and 5th grade. And your child should be developing the ability to see friendships have many different levels, and of course the peer pressure starts to have an effect this year as well. Cognitively this year, you can expect your child to begin developing a keener sense of morality, to better prioritize and budget his time, and to start plays on words and puns. 4th and 5th graders do love those jokes. Some physical developmental milestones. Again, they're getting better at the hand-eye coordination, some ability to persist in physical activity to reach a goal, be it playing a game or completing physical fitness testing. Alright, 5th graders. This is a big year, marking a big transition between elementary to middle school, because a lot of times 6th grade is in the middle school, 5th grade may or may not be, might still be in the elementary, but some might be in the middle school, depending on the school. There are a number of social skills that will help in navigating this transition. The most important one is that difference between fair and equal. Once your child understands that fair doesn't always mean equal, she may be more accepting of peers and less critical of the differences in the classroom. Some cognitive skills. They show your child is maturing, include the ability to see both sides of an issue, and to logically argue for one side of it. Physically, your child is maturing as well. Her developmental milestones this year include the ability to easily integrate cognition with movement, making it a prime time to learn to play an instrument or take on a more complicated art project. This is also the time that marks the beginning of being responsible enough to be left home alone. Puberty can begin as early as age 11, and right around 5th grade, a lot of kids are 10, 11, 12 years old, depending on when they started school. And because of puberty starting, it's also the time and when the talk occurs. I know my kiddos have the, maturity unit, when they begin talking about differences between males and females. So a lot of times that happens right around 5th grade. Alright, so those are the milestones. Some physical exercise here. For health benefits, and I'm sure you've seen this on TV, the children aged 5 through 11 should accumulate at least 60 minutes of moderate or vigorous intensive physical activity every day, or at least 3 times a week. You may have heard that I know the NFL has that 60-minute, I forget what it's called, Play 60, I think, where they encouraging again 60 minutes of play outside 3 times a week. The benefits for elementary school kids for exercise in elementary school kids is decreasing the chances of developing diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. And kids that get exercise are generally healthier and happier. All right, so your job for homework is to answer the journal question about games you remember from your elementary years. You're going to think back to the games and decide which one do you think you liked best and why did you like that game. All right, again, good luck to all of you testers out there. Hope you're doing well, and I will hopefully see you guys next week.